So, this is interesting, but not too surprising. So, if you're not aware of who Lavador is, he's a YouTuber from, I believe, the Balkan states. Balkan state. I'm pretty sure he's. I know for a fact that he is Slavic. I don't know what kind he is or was a Slavic, and it's a political YouTuber. Very monarchist, right wing, you can say. And I followed the guy for quite a bit of time. Right, I've enjoyed his content. I've enjoyed just a lot of I can say I enjoy the stuff he says. Right, I may not agree with him on a lot of things, but nevertheless, I've always enjoyed Lavador. But I've noticed in the last couple of months, uh, that I noticed that he was going down a clear agnostic route. I think just by his videos, his posts, it was very much the writing was on the wall. And the other day, because I was so busy with other stuff, he made a post saying that it is finally time to break the news to everyone. I now consider myself agnostic. I would say that I am more at peace now. After many months of reflection and meditation, I learned something new about myself. I was never religious in the first place. Ever since my childhood, rather I've been gaslighting myself into thinking I was, and when I wasn't. Religion, in all honesty, had brought nothing positive for my life. It was even a big part of my anxiety and has been fighting with ever since his childhood. Now I'm wondering what he means by like nothing. Like I feel like that's a bit of gaslighting on his end as well. Like what do you mean nothing positive? Even though to clarify, it isn't merely about Islam, but something broader that encompasses all Abrahamic religion, including Christianity. I have no real quarrel or grudge against Islam specifically for something that the religion environment I grew up as a kid was always kind and caring to me. I do not blame it for anything. Rather, almost all of this personal has more to do with me and my fault in never opening up. So I'm very confused because you, on one end, you said it brought nothing personal, yet that same environment was caring to you. It's a little bit of like, what do you mean by that? Like, are you saying that in your own, as you as a person, right? But you could clearly also tell they didn't write anything negative about it. So it's sort of like you're kind of a little vague on that. And also, you can tell the way he wrote Abrahamic religion kind of indicates that he may go down like a weird Buddhist path. But then again, anytime I've seen like these people go down like Islamic, then they go down to agnostic, then they go down a bit of Buddhist, Hindu, they end up going back to being Christian down the line. They just always do. I previously seriously considered making a dedicated coffee club about this, detailing my journey and all the things that led to it, but I decided against it. Right now, this is an extremely touchy and volatile topic for me mentally, and for the sake of my mental health, I decided to keep the detail private. Lest things get worse or old wounds get open. I appreciate if you understand. Again, right there, it's like would get worse or old wounds. So did it bring positive? Did it not bring anything positive? With obviously it brought nothing positive for my life. So are you applying there with some negativity? Was it due to other people or was it due to the community? Because if you're right wing and you're Islamic, you're not really liked a lot. You know, because I would say most of the bulk of the right wing is made of like Christians and pagans and obviously atheists. And a lot of them don't have the most positive view on Muslim, especially even among the more, I guess, like even the most Buddhist right wingers, which are usually like European or American. But I just want to clarify breaking the news to everyone, as I felt that it was finally time. I am now agnostic and I don't believe in any Abrahamic religion, nor do I feel any spiritual connection to them. You guys deserve to know I've been trying to prepare some of you for this news through some of the latest things I talked about on my channel, so that these news do not appear completely out of the blue. And I just want to thank thank some of my close friends who listened to me and try to help me, but this is the road I've taken. So just by saying that I don't believe in any Ibrahim religion doesn't really mean that he's not going to be religious. He's probably going to go down some weird, like, again, I've seen this before, and anybody who's seen this before knows where this always goes. They go down well, I don't believe in any Abraham religion. Then kind of goes down the Gnostic, some weird atheist route. He may go even a little leftist on his policies. Don't be surprised. And I'm not trying to be an ass, right? I am not trying to be a complete ass to Lavador because I do enjoy a lot of his content. At the same time, I'm aware of the dude's about to go down this weird atheist route, may burn some of his fans. This is how it always goes with some of them. Then he's gonna go down a Buddhist, some weird esoteric stuff for like a bit of time. Then he's gonna drop that, go back being a Gnostic, and then next thing you know, he's either becomes Catholic or Orthodox. That's how they usually go. Now I know Lavador is pretty young for the most part. He's very young. I believe he is like at least in his early 20s. I think he's the same age, if not closer to age, like Missouri Z and people like that. So he's a very young individual. Okay, here we are. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut something out for my own health. Nevertheless, this isn't surprising. I'm not really surprised or shocked at all that he going down this route. But as I said before, um, I guess you can say that it's been a long time coming. That this is something that was always there and obvious. Uh, you know, it's very much there. It's always been there, right? I'm again not too surprised. Right, a lot of these people that go down this route, and then they'll just end up, they just end up converting to Christianity. Right, this is how it always goes. Anytime, especially a lot of these Islamists, and I'm not really trying to be a dick to him. I really am not. But I think, you know, deep down, I feel like this isn't too surprising. Again, this has been in the writing in the wall for some period of time, and I hope, I can only hope and pray that he finds a God and everything. But if this is how he feels and he's happy, good for him. But at the same time, don't be too surprised if he starts, belittling Christianity or Islam. Don't be too surprised. Don't be too shocked. Right? You know, you know, don't be too shocked. Or he'll end up becoming a deist or a Buddhist, right? Like this weird Buddhist deist. This is something I see a lot with a lot of these people. And again, if he does for like, I don't know, again, he's pretty young. He'll probably come back around like in 2 or 4 years, right? He'll may go down this weird liberal path, may burn some of his fans, get a lot of controversial, get kind of controversial. Then he'll end up reconverting, and that's usually how this process. I have seen it enough times where somebody's religious, then they go down this weird liberal leftist anti-deist path, and or even anti-Christian for a little bit, and then like end up converting down the line. Whether he still is going to be right wing or just monarchist, I don't really know. Um, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, if you're surprised about this, don't be really. Everybody was calling this for weeks on end. Everybody knew this, right? Everybody knew that. And if anything, it is what it is. So, I know it's a little, I wouldn't say too different from what I cover, because I've covered stuff. I've covered politics just a little bit, but when it's coming down to somebody who's, how can I say it? When we're covering somebody like this who I enjoy his content, again, don't be too shocked. There's really not much I can say, or I could really say without looping. So I'm just gonna end it off with just give it a couple months, maybe a year. He'll end up converting to like Catholicism or Eastern Orthodoxy. He's gonna probably go down the weird Buddhist deist, burn some of his fans, maybe burn some of the bridges or burn some of his supporters or his friends for a bit of time. Realize what he did, go off the internet for a couple of months, come back, and then he say he found God or Jesus. That's usually what ends up happening. I'm not really trying to be an asshole, but if you've seen this before, you know how this usually ends for a lot of these people. Till next time.